Hi everyone, so today I am back to do a video which is part of a collaboration called May You Be Inspired By, which is hosted by Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors and Justine from House of Mahalo, I think that's how it's pronounced. So they're celebrating 1 year of their Facebook group, which is called Junk Journal Ideas and Inspirations, and they have asked a big lineup of ladies. I think there's 31 ladies taking part in each day of the month of May. Each lady is going to talk about how they got started in crafting, how they got into journal making, and maybe a few tips. Okay, so today it's my turn. I have got these two journals here just as a little example because these are like busting to the seams. They were simple to do and they were basically for me memory keeping. So I'm just going to move one out of the way because it kind of looks a little bit busy. First of all, I'm going to talk about how I got started, and look at how lovely that is. How I got started. Well, I've always been a lover of like arty things, you know, children's arts and crafts, and then I went through my teenage years being like just a proper teenager and didn't actually do anything, but I always liked doodling and colouring in. And then it really wasn't until my 30s, I'm now 51, in my 30s that my aunt came down and, oh, there's a little creepy on my thing. My aunt came down to see my dad, and my dad was in poor health, and she's always been a crafter. She was a seamstress, she's a crafter, card making. She wasn't really into scrapbooking or anything like that, but she liked oil paintings, things like that. And anyway, she had brought a magazine with her, and it was a card making magazine, and you know, I just sat looking at it, and in that magazine she got I think it was like a free stamp set or something. And after sitting looking through it, I thought, oh, that looks like fun. So she then went home and sent me a little box full of stamps and cards and just things that she had made up to put onto her cards in her card making. And I'll be honest, it sat there for like a few years and I didn't really do anything about it. And then I moved home and I come across it all again and I started making cards and I thought it was great fun. And I think I sold a few, nothing major, but I made them just for pure fun. And then I got into doing a little bit of jewellery making, very simple, nothing extravagant, and I enjoyed that as well. And of course, with the card making and the jewellery making, YouTube was a big go-to for inspiration, and it was kind of before Pinterest and like Instagram and all that kind of thing. So YouTube came across one day, I think it was Follow the Paper Trail, and it was a mini album. And of course I was, oh, that looks like fun. So I started on the mini album journey and I loved making mini albums. I done that for probably about 4 years of just constantly making mini albums for swaps to sell. But in between that I enjoyed making tags, decorating tags, and just doing little altered projects for, at the time, me and a few ladies, we ran a group for UK and Ireland craft swaps, and we done lots of group swaps on there, just altered things, like I said, tags, mini albums, just things in general, crafts in general. And then, as you know, you get a lot of suggested things that come up on YouTube when you have been on there for a while. And a lady called Yoli Bean popped up and she was showing a composition book that she had turned into a junk journal / smash book type journal. And she had then spoke about a lady called Tangi Baxter, and then I just went from Yoli Bean to Tangi Baxter, and then I made my, over here in the UK, we couldn't, you can now, but they're quite expensive. You couldn't get hold of a composition book. So I made my own. It was a little bit smaller. I made my own. That was about 11 years ago. It's, I mean, I'll be honest, I look at it and think, what was I thinking? It's crap. But at the time, I loved it. I went with the flow. I put a few things in it. I enjoyed watching Tangy Baxter's videos and Yoli Bean, and I started making these things. I mean, really, it is kid stuff. There's cards in here and postcards and drawings that I thought I could do, and you could tell I had a chocolate night. Just little things. I think I printed things out and coloured them in, and I've got postcards that were sent to me. Just honestly, I mean, I look at it and I think, oh gosh, it's horrible, but I've got little memories in here from people that I'd done swaps with and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, that was that. Like I said, I look at it and think, oh, it's horrible. But what have we got in here? Just postcards and things. Oh, and wine wrappers off the bottles. So that was my take on a composition book type junky journal type thing. Okay, I wouldn't say it wasn't made out of junk, but what I put in it was what I thought, like some people would probably throw in the bin. Okay, so that was that. Then I come across ladies like Laurie W, who's Laurie Webber. Then it was Laurie, just a girl from the Bay, and then the list went on and on. There's way too many ladies, but the two Lauries as I call them, they were the ladies that really inspired me with their little junk journals, and I've got journals from them here in my little craft haven and my little shed. Then I done this one. I'm just going to show you quickly. I'm going to give you a few tips afterwards, or I might do it whilst I'm walking through this. Now, this was started off as a file folder, which we get here in the UK. They're not the same type of file folders as you get in the US. These are like the hanging ones, you know, you put in like file cabinets. And this is black gaffer tape, as we call it. And you can see I messed up there with the holes because of the bends in it, and I just thought, well, it's for me, I don't care. I used scrap pieces of, I do believe this was scrapbooking paper, and little bits here, and I'm just going to do a quick flip in here. There's two signatures, is there? Two signatures, and I just kept things in here that were sent to me. This was tag swaps, and I kept them, and little things from Christmas that I got, and it all just got kept, and I just made little bits, and there's things in, and there's cards and all sorts of stuff. You know, I do go through these every now and again, and I've got many more journals like this where I keep things from just little thank yous. And I remember the first time receiving something like this, and then I was very lucky enough to get the stamp sent to me by Crafty Irina. This thank you cards from people. What was that? Enjoy and don't rush. Opening. It was, you know, and I know what that means. This beautiful tag, which was from Leanne Langton, and she's on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. But yeah, this is, I'm just really going to flick through, and you can see that is, I mean, that was a card that I made for Valentine's Day for my husband like years ago. It was one of them sits like that, and of course I've just popped it in there. Just little tags. Another tag there that I made, again that was from Leanne. Just little photographs of memories and all sorts of higgledy-piggledy stuff in here. This was a tag swap. That was a show that I worked that show, and I watched it nearly every night. Yeah, so just things that were sent to me, were swaps and all sorts of things. Okay, so that's that, and look how bulky that is from just me basically memory keeping in my journal. Right, I have got another journal that I'm going to really quickly show you. I mean, I could be here all day showing you journals and talking about it, but this is my style of me working in a journal. Me making a journal is just completely different, because you can make them so many ways, right? Oops, there's addresses on there, so I can't really show you that much. This was my Happy Mail, no, art, was it art mail? I think we were doing art mail one year, many moons ago, about 8 years ago probably, and I just put everything into this. Again, very simple to make, and I just put the strings and everything got tucked into it somehow I done that. Okay, tips for you guys. Personally, I think you, if you're starting off in your journey of making journals, then keep it simple. Don't look at a journal that somebody has probably taken weeks and weeks to make and fill with all their memories, because that is, to me personally, that is too much to take in at once if you're a beginner. Keep it simple, make them small. Don't make a journal with like 500 pages in it and then think, oh my goodness, I'm never gonna be able to fill that. It can be overwhelming. Just keep them simple. There is no rules, there's no formula to making them. Make them with what you've got, with what you like, and as long as you're happy with it, that is the main thing. Everybody has got a different eye for things. We have got different likes, different colors, all that sort of thing. As you know, if you watch my channel, I make a lot of journals, but I make them to sell. That is not the type of journal that I would I do actually use things like that for myself, but I like the scrappy type journals like this. That's what I do. But I love the prettiness of the journals that I make, which I then put in my shop. I love them. They're, and I've even got a little scrappy journal that I made from, I'm still working in that at the moment. Just when I feel like it, I just do a little bit in it just to make me happy. But there's so many ways of making journals. There's so many ways of using journals. Like I said, there's no rules. There's no it's not just one road and you have to go down that road and make a journal. Make it how you want to. Gonna talk a little bit about tools. Simple. Honestly, simple. You will need a ruler, you will need some scissors. I've got loads of scissors. I've just grabbed these right now because I'm not that organized. You need a craft knife of some sort. Again, I've got loads of them. All right, you might need a bone folder. Okay, if you don't have a bone folder, you can always use the end of your ruler to to burnish something. A paper trimmer. Now, if you can't afford a paper trimmer, you can still use a ruler and a pencil. Okay, I have this is an old Stampin' Up one. They stopped selling them. They don't have the blades. You can't get the blades or anything for them, but I use this to cut down. I do it very carefully to cut down there. It's still a blade, it still cuts. Okay, so a paper trimmer. If you can afford a really good one, go for it. But if not, they are not necessary. They really, they are not. I don't believe they're necessary. I know other ladies have said in this collaboration about a paper trimmer, but you honestly don't need them, because sometimes I make a whole journal without using my paper trimmer. I use my ruler. I use underneath this crazy, which I'm covering some mess as well. I've got this gridded glass mat. You don't need a glass one. You can get the rubber self-healing ones. I use that to measure with, fold and tear with a ruler. Okay, so you don't need, and I watch a lot of ladies who do not use, I've never seen them really use a paper trimmer. And the thing with rulers, you can get the rulers that have got the lovely tear edges. Again, it's something you don't need. You can pick up cheap little decorative scissors to do that with as well. I just think, especially if you're just starting out and it may not be something that you are going to do on a regular basis, maybe it's just every now and again, you just don't go out and spend a fortune on things. It's a bit like when your kid starts, like say ballet or football, and they do it for, you buy them all the kit and they play it for 2 or 3 months and then they don't want to go back anymore. Don't do that. Something that I would advise if you're making journals is use something good to bind it with. Okay, and make sure that your signatures are secure in the journal cover. I use wax linen thread, and I've got it in white, which is nearly done, and I've got it in this brown, but I also use a little block of wax, beeswax, just to wax it up a little bit more. That's just my preference. And you will need some needles, and you will need an awl, or possibly you don't need both. I don't really use that. I use these are big thick needles. I use them, but if you've got one of them, it's handy. So really, and then use your scrapbooking papers. You can coffee dye some papers if you want, or tea dye them, or avocado dye them. Just use what you have. Use magazines, leaflets that come through the door, envelopes, junk mail. Use your paints if you've got them. If not, buy some cheap ones. Don't go out buying expensive ones. Now, I done a little video, not a video, a show and tell the other day, and it was of, this is an old jar that used to have salsa in it and it's now got texture paste in it, which I made. I just found a YouTube video, well, I watched quite a few, with how to make your own at home, because I went onto Amazon, and I think the cheapest one was about £10–12, and I thought, oh, I'm not paying that. Getting a bit scrimpy, getting a bit thrifty, you have to these days. And I just bought, the only thing I had to buy was the talcum powder, because I had white paint and I had the PVA glue, and it worked a treat. Don't know where my little piece is now, but I done something, I don't know where it is now. Anyway, I showed it on Facebook, and it turned out amazing, and I even looked at it this morning and it hasn't cracked. It was just the perfect formula that I'd made up with my 3 ingredients. So, you know, make your own little things up. I make my own shimmer sprays as well, which is just water, acrylic paints, and a little drop or 2 of alcohol. You don't have to add the alcohol, but the video I watched years ago, it had the alcohol in it, so that's what I used. And it's just, you know, when you do something, it just sticks with you. That's what it is. So yeah, I kind of think that is all I've got to offer you, as in, you know, how I got started and a few tips. I just really would say the main thing is enjoy yourself. I know that sometimes there can be a lot of critics out there, but don't take no notice. As long as you're happy making what you're making, then you do that. That is your little happy time. It's your time, it's your space, it's your supplies. Do what you like with it. So below I will also link Yoli Bean's video and the Tangy Baxter one, which started me on my road, because it kind of I just went down a rabbit hole after that with the junk journaling, and I love it. It is something, and I have seen a few other ladies say, you know, they've done many crafts over the years, but they've just felt so connected to making journals, and I totally get that 100%, because once I'd found my feet a little bit making my first junk journal, which I showed you, even though I look at it now and think it's awful, I love doing it. I loved making it. It was what I made it. Yeah, it might have been crap, but it was mine. It set me off. I learn every day. I learn something new. My style has changed as well over time, so you know, you'll find that will happen with you as well. You know, it might take you a while to find your little niche of what you like. But yeah, see, I could go on for ages talking about it, but I know they said about 10–15 minutes, and I think I've been talking for ages. But anyway, check out the list below as well of all the other ladies, because I am day 16, and obviously the 16 ladies are before me, well, 15 ladies before me, and then there will be the other ladies after me as well. So keep subscribed to them, follow them in their crafts and their journal making, and something's just fell over, and yeah, and watch the other videos that are still to come out. And I hope that you learn something a little bit from everyone in this collaboration, which I thought was fantastic. So again, thank you to Justine and Mandy. Thank you for watching, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.